wide roads and they're running towards the finish, it's going to be very difficult for these three riders to stay away.
Bahrain have committed and ridden. Is it going to be Fred Wright's moment? On Spanish soil last year, he came so close, so many times. Euskaltel do have one rider in there. Soto, I think it is, just behind. Movistar, remember, with Aramburu. Ivan Garcia Cortina has already been dropped. Aramburu as well, well, he'd like the bonus seconds too, from as well as winning the stage, because he's right up there in the GC. He could conceivably be the new leader at the end of the day. Remember, 10, 6 and 4 bonus seconds for first, second and third.
Yeah, that's why Trek Segafredo, they're not happy. They want the bonuses to go away. They don't want anybody taking those bonuses. As you said, a couple of fast finishers up there yesterday can take some of these bonuses and use it to their advantage. They're kind of moving up and starting to get in the way at the front of the peloton as well.
Just 8 measly seconds now, but we're less than 2 kilometres from the finish line. It's going to go right down to the wire on stage 3 of the Tour of Valencia. This is Antonio Pedrero at the back for Movistar, who's given everything at the front to try and help bring this back. 6, 7 seconds now, and Jungels just does what he has to do. He just continues to commit, continues to ride. He has Gregard here to roll through and do another big turn. Velasco will do the same as well. Everybody committed to give themselves that little bit of a chance if there's any hesitation behind. Just over a kilometre to go now, and they're still out in front. And here is the last kilometre. 1,000 metres to the finish line. It's a straight line and it's a handful of seconds. They can't start to think about the win though here, Brian Smith, yet.
No, they can't at all. And, the master across the front of the road now, they're thinking about the sprint finish, but they have to catch these three riders, and this is going to come down to the wire.
It's Bob Jungels in the green, Jonas Gregard there in the yellow and red. Behind it's Velasco in the turquoise jersey. They're into the final half a kilometre here. Last roundabout that they take on the left and then go straight to the finish line from now. It's just a handful of seconds behind, with Bahrain still committed, with Movistar in there as well. And Gregard, who's looking for what would be his first professional victory, is still riding away. It's a team time trial straight to the line here, and they've still got a decent gap here. They've still got a very decent gap as they come through that final roundabout now and head in towards the finish straight. This is a great opportunity for the breakaway, who looked like they were going to have their hearts broken, but now are going to have a chance to sprint for the victory. They've messed it up behind, it seems. And look at that. Velasco hits the front. Velasco goes, and Jungels is trying to come around, but it's Simone Velasco from the breakaway who hold on by just 100 metres. They committed behind. They tried their best, but it was not to be. Day 3 to the breakaway, and dreams do come true if you hold on and commit enough. That did not look likely for a long time, Brian Smith, but my, do they deserve it.
I'm glad I was wrong. I thought they would get caught, and I thought it would be a sprint, and I'm so glad that I was wrong there, because that was a great entertaining final there, and none of them looked at each other. There was no hesitation. Everybody just gave everything they could, and the strongest man with anything left in the legs just won. Velasco was just that little bit quicker than the others, but you can see the sheer disappointment of Movistar just behind. But even now, there was no hesitation. They were just giving absolutely everything. But you felt here that Velasco, probably the quickest of the three anyway, was just waiting to pounce, and he did, and the others just had no answer whatsoever. But I think it came down to just, guys, we just have to make sure that we stay away from the peloton. I thought they would have needed Lawson Craddock to be there, but no, they played it brilliantly, stayed away, and unfortunately Movistar are left shaking their head.
It's a first victory of the season for Astana, Kazakhstan, and a first win in 18 months for Simone Velasco. Sensational stuff. And there was a lovely moment there where all three of them congratulated each other. I'm thinking about Velasco here, because without that big long final turn from Jonas Gregard, I'm not sure that happens, Brian.
No, it's not often that you see that, and it's a case, you know, I've been in a similar situation in a breakaway with Sean Yates, and we were almost been brought back. I think it was less than 30 seconds, and he turned round to me and he said, "It's all or nothing," and I went all in, and you know, he beat me in the end, just by the, you know, he was the person left with most strength left in his legs, and he gave it everything, I gave it everything, and that was an opportunity that all three riders had communicated. They stayed together on that climb. They never kind of chased loss and credit. I think that was a mistake, and they combined well together, and the only thought was to stay away from the peloton. If they get a chance to go for the stage win, so be it, and they did. And sometimes you get breakaways breaking down because they're thinking about the win, but I really do think that the group behind, there was a couple of Bahrain, Movistar down towards the back in the end. I really did think the bunch thought that they're going to be brought back and we're going to have a sprint. They were wrong in the end, so was I.
It looked like it when they went to work, didn't it? Here's this final kilometre again, and here you're still thinking, surely they're going to be caught, but they weren't.
4 seconds into the last kilometre, they weren't even looking behind to see where the peloton was. It was just a case of go to the front, bit of big turn, and Bob Youngle's doing it here. At this stage, I think, look at the riders peeling off at the front, Bahrain, others doing the kind of last turn. I think they think, right, that's my job done. You know, it's going to come down to a sprint. And Youngle's, I think, into this last kilometre, he puts a big turn in here. And then when he swings over, as you say, Gregard puts another big turn in, and you know, that was the difference. Velasco he was the only one that thought, I'm going to skip this bit, you know, I'm going to play this a little bit, you know, wisely here, and you know, he won the stage. But yeah, the peloton at that stage, they ended up, you know, hiding to nothing now. They kind of gave up almost as they came into the last kilometre and never committed. I was saying it in the commentary before, just get the job done, bring the three riders back, and then think about the finish. Don't think about the finish before the three riders have been brought back.
Gregor's big turn. Youngle's trying to come around but not having the power. Velasco, the man with the velocity. It's Velasco, it's Youngles, it's Gregard, and then come those from Movistar. It built up nicely, didn't it, today? Thomas Gloag had a go. Lawson Craddock was away, could not hack the distance. These guys look like they've been dropped, had other ideas. Youngles, the clever head in the bunch. Gregard gave everything. Velasco, the man who took the honours. But without all of their committal, that win doesn't go to the Italian. He knows that. It's his first win in Spain. 2 days running we've had Italian winners winning for the first time in Spain. And Giulio Ciccone keeps the yellow jersey. The old Roman castle walls around Sagunto. Over a kilometre long, the walls in that place, looking over the town. This is modern Sagunto, or Sagunt in the Valencian language. And we're waiting for confirmation. The classified results, the top 10 of stage 3. Well, that'll feel good for Astana, Kazakhstan, won't it? Of course, they signed Mark Cavendish over the winter. That had been hoping for a raft of stage victories and things like that this year, but it must always be a good feeling as a team manager, Brian. You've been in that position. Just get underway, get that first win out the way nice and early.
It's so important. I can't highlight that enough. It just gives so much confidence in the team, not just the team here, but the team in general. It's great. The last thing you want to do is be pushing for that first win of the season. It's so difficult. I've been in that. I was in that situation with Motorola. I won the first race in Europe for them, and that was, I think, in April, way back in '94. I was first winner of the team, and they were always kind of fighting. The pressure was building. You don't want to be in that situation.
Final, como antes apuntábamos, también había conseguido victorias de etapa para él en las pruebas de.
That's it from Bob Youngles, who was close but not close enough.
That has the feeling on the finish line.
Well, to be honest, it was a bit of a suicide mission today because obviously we thought that the sprinter teams would control, but in the end, I think the pace was super high on the climbs, and I think. Favorite teams, they attacked behind already on the first climb, so everything split up a bit, which was good for us in front. I mean, in the end, I was since the last climb, I was pretty much on the limit, like everyone. And then, unfortunately, in the sprint, the chain of the guy of Uno X dropped just in front of me, so I was a bit blocked. But I think in the end, I'm happy to be there, happy to be in the final again, and.